Good afternoon, my name is Hutch Haynes, and I'll be talking to you this afternoon about the game of rugby, giving you some information about the sport, the way it's played, and the object of the game. Rugby is a sport played around the world by civilized societies of every race, gender, and physical size. Rugby is known to be a very rough sport. However, it is played by gentlemen all across the United States and Europe. Based on my own knowledge of playing the sport in high school, as well as some of the things that I've learned in the books by Tony Williams and Gordon Hunter, Rugby Skills, Tactics, and Rules, and some pamphlets from the International Rugby Board, I'd like to give you some more information about the rules of the game and the intent of the game. Rugby is a rough sport, but it is also a delicate dance in which all the players work together amid organized chaos. By focusing on the organization and layout of the player positions and rules, we'll get a better idea of how the game is played, as well as the organization. The organization has a layout of player positions where each player position is based on his skill level and his size. There's a range from small to large and everything in between. There are 15 members in a team. The positions in the game are 2 props, the scrum half, the hooker, the 2 locks, the number 8 man, second row, which contain 2 players, 2 flankers on the outside, the fly half, the inside center, the 2 wings, and the fullback, according to Williams. All of these players work together and all have to be able to handle the ball in any situation, whether in defense or offense. Specific rules of the game are played in phases: set play, which is the first phase, second phase, and open play. Set play includes scrums, lineouts, and kick restarts. Second phase includes tackle situations and rucks or mauls, which I'll explain later. Open play is basically any time that the play is not stopped on the clock, where the referees continue to let the play go downfield with the team that has the ball and the defense to try to stop the team that has the ball. Set play contains the main set of play, which is the scrum. The scrum contains 8 players, number 1 through number 8. The first row contains the 2 props along with the hooker. They all join together to form the first row. The second row contains 2 players as well, and the third row consists of 1 player, the number 8 man. On the outside you have 2 flankers, and then on the very outside of the scrum you have the scrum half, who rolls the ball in during the engagement of the scrum, as well as tries to get the ball out when the hooker hooks the ball from the middle of the scrum to pass through the second row to the number 8 man to pass out to the scrum half. The line out consists of 2 players lifting a player up on their shoulders to compete for a ball when it's thrown out after having been taken out of bounds by the other team. The 2 teams compete for the ball being thrown. The team that's opposing competes in front of the team receiving the ball, trying to lift their man up to grab the ball in the line out to take the ball into play. Kick restarts live up to their name, basically restarting the play with a kickoff at the beginning of the game or after and out of bounds. Second phase contains the maul, which is a fast-formed play. When a player is tackled, he places the ball on his outside with 2 players from the opposing team trying to come over him, grabbing the ball while it's still on the ground. 2 players from his team coming over him, trying to keep the 2 players from the other team to get the ball. And the scrum half then comes, takes the ball off the ground, and puts it back into play. The ruck, however, is a makeshift form of the scrum used after the lineout is formed to try to push the man with the ball that's caught it after the lineout towards the opposing goal line. Both teams come on each side, have a loose formation of what the scrum would look like, trying to push the ball back and forth to the goal lines. Open play, again, is any time when the ball continues in motion and play continues without interruption. There are several key rules of engagement, one being the ball, which is an oval about 280 to 300 millimeters in length. This is a small miniature version of a rugby ball, and the dimensions are according to Williams in his book. A match starts with a kickoff from center field. A try, which is the equivalent of a touchdown in American football, is when the ball is taken and placed over the goal line by a player that contains the ball during a play of open play. When the scrum collapses at any point, the referee calls the scrum not good. They have to reset, reform, and restart the scrum if it's not done in the right way. It is illegal for a player to strike an opponent, tackle an opponent when he's in the air attempting a catch, or to play in an unsportsmanlike way, according to Williams. According to the International Rugby Board, rugby owes much of its appeal to the fact that it is played both to the letter and within the spirit of the laws. So all of the players on the team, as well as the referees and the coaches, work together to try to make rugby safe and organized by playing by the rules. Some examples of gameplay scenarios are punting, tackling, which is a huge part of play, and the most exciting scenario is a player that makes a try. Just as in American football, a touchdown is one of the most exciting parts of a game when the team scores a point. Through just a short overview of the game of rugby, it's clear that rugby is fast-paced, but it's also well organized. Rugby is a tough sport, but as I mentioned before, it's a delicate dance in which all the players work together amid organized chaos. Because of the organization and rules in rugby, when played correctly, it can be elegant and beautiful as well as strong and wild. Thank you for your time and for listening to the information about the sport of rugby.